2 games of playoff hoops in a Tuesday night. I cannot believe we're here, but a favorite still has not won a game. Timberwolves and Cavs lose. And I'm saying they lost, not the other teams won. Let's get into it. My name is Shlomo Stark.
My name is Levi Jacob.
And this is the NBA Daily Recap in 15 minutes or less. Levi, I told you yesterday in predictions that if Indiana wins, I think the series is over. Now, no Mobley, no Garland, no Hunter. But that was like the definition of like a soul breaker, a heartbreaker. I think the worst way to lose a game is missing the foul shot on purpose, getting your own rebound, and then scoring the game winner. Because it's just like, wow, we stink. And to do it in Cleveland, to do it in game 2, when you already won game like 1-0, after Kenny Atkinson just won Coach of the Year, everyone is going nuts about this team, including my mother and you yesterday. And for this to happen is just like, this is a huge moment for Tyrese Haliburton. Huge legacy moment in his young career. His actual stats were fine. It was like 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 7-11 shooting. But that finish was historic. And again, the Cavs could win 4 straight now and everyone will be healthy and I'll be eating my own words. But I really think that broke the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean, despite Donovan Mitchell's, 48 points or whatever it was?
Donovan Mitchell was phenomenal. He had 48 points. And I'll just say it for myself, even though I don't know if people are listening to this to hear about me, but I feel like maybe they are. So we'll just do this. I was so excited to be in America and like watch a game at a normal time. I was like, wow, it's 7 p.m. and the game is starting. By halftime, I was asleep. So jet lagged. So I just had to watch this game like later, like after once I woke up, like watch the highlights and things like that. But yeah, Mitchell was amazing. 15 of 30, 48 points. Jared Allen was also good. He like made up for the Millie minutes. Everyone on Cleveland played well. The thing about Indiana is there's their scoring. They're going to score every time. The score was 120 to 119, and we'll get to the next game, but they almost doubled the next game's score. So yeah, Mitchell was great. Strus was great, and Cleveland was good. Like the whole game, it felt like Cleveland was going to win, even with basically until 1.1 seconds left. They were like, yeah, I just don't believe it.
I actually watched back the Haliburton's game-winning three-pointer about like 4 times, just analyzing because my mind couldn't understand it. Just analyzing like his arm, like he was whatever the opposite of square to the basket is. He was off his back foot, turned to the side. Like it didn't make any sense. The shot didn't make any sense. It looked like it was obviously not going in, and he's just a killer. Like it's so funny because he had that whole beef with Dame from last season, right? With Dame time, whatever. In a weird way, it reminded me of watching Damian Lillard coming up. Like he was just doing.
This is a good take. I like this. Take this further. Halliburton is market correcting Dame.
Like that's how it feels to me. He's hitting these ridiculous like Dame at least has like a prettier shot. You know what I'm saying? His game it looks prettier. But it's the same thing like Dame was not people were excited about him. And then like LaMarcus Aldridge left and was like, okay, what's the deal? How can he like probably whatever? And he had that 3 to beat that Rockets team. That's what this feels like. Like unexpected, you're beating this team that's this supposed to be this like juggernaut. I know they're injury, whatever, but they're like at home. No one is expecting them to lose this game. No one's expecting the Cavaliers to lose this game. And it just feels like he keeps bringing them home. Like he's like, don't worry, guys, I got this.
In the last 3 games, so that's the Bucks clincher, the first Cleveland game, and the second Cleveland game last night. He completely put the team on his back both times.
I don't know how I like that's why it's just so funny to me. Like I'm actually I'm a very big believer in Tyrese Haliburton. I think that all the team, like very seriously, all the teams I drafted, and I felt this way. I don't watch a lot of college basketball, but I felt this way pretty early on in his career that I was like, wow, a lot of teams made a mistake here. Like if
Well, don't forget the Kings traded him, and I think that a big part of it that not like there's a big debate about how much emphasis to put on this. I think the Olympics matter, and he was there and basically was just like accepted his role as the Christian Laettner on the team of just like, okay, like it's fine, and like I feel like deep down he's like, I'm better than these guys, but like it's okay, like I'm happy to be in France. on how he'd be enjoying, and I think that that kind of ignited him.
They had an interview where it said that he was following, or maybe it was like just when he was drafted or something like that. And he said, "Let's check back in a couple of years and see how that draft stock panned out." And it's like, yeah, he out of this class, he's had a better career than James Wiseman and LaMelo Ball by far, and it's not close. And
Yeah.
LaMelo, I understand the injuries whenever, more comparable, but I'm saying, like, I think
No, he's in the Anthony Edwards realm. He's like a tier below Anthony Edwards. It was a weird draft. It was the COVID draft. I don't like to play this game. They'll like imagine they drafted him because I feel like nobody knows what they're doing with drafting. Like Donovan Mitchell, who dropped 50 tonight, went like 14. Or 13? No, you're right. It really changes my point. It doesn't. But it just makes me look stupid. Keep this in, Max, or whoever's editing. Keep it in. Keep it in that I felt late.
it also could be that I'm wrong. Actually, I want to look this up now. Yeah.
You can look it up while while I make my point.
Yes.
Jokic went in the I think sixth round. Don't correct me. Draymond went in the third round. Like all these guys go late, and then you look in hindsight. Curry went eighth. Like you look in hindsight, you're like, oh, should have drafted them earlier. Giannis, like almost no stars are a top five pick. So like to play the game of like imagine he was drafted earlier, like he should have been drafted earlier. It's like yeah, they should have, but like no one. I still don't think anyone really knows what they're doing with the draft, which is why this will be my last point on this because I don't think we should return to this conversation. I hate trading for draft picks.
First up, he was 13th, so I feel vindicated. But again, not that it matters. It's also funny to kind of further prove your point. Who was the team that drafted Haliburton?
It wasn't the Kings. Oh, yeah.
We already had Fox, so like they didn't even know what they were doing really.
Right. No, yeah, nobody knows what they're doing. Okay, next, Warriors. This one might be the most shocking of all the upsets. Warriors beat everything's shocking about this. They've won 99-88. So first of all, the score is like what? The Timberwolves only scored 88 points. Second of all, Curry left with a hamstring injury in the either end of the first or second quarter. I don't remember anymore. So they played at least 3 quarters, maybe 2.5 quarters without Steph Curry, and they won by 11. Buddy Hield is turning into Klay Thompson in front of our eyes. Jimmy Butler is really good.
He's limping.
Yeah, that's like classic him though. Like he does like this. I'm used to it with Brunson.
The Timberwolves have ADD. They procrastinate to the last second, and until their backs are against the wall or they feel like an intensity, they just kind of are chill about whatever they're doing. Like Anthony Edwards at 23 points. There were very long stretches of this game that I did not know that he was in. Like he just didn't seem engaged, and like this is an opportunity to go up 1-0 against the Warriors, like get an effective lead. Steph Curry was out, and like he was like, Steph is out. I'll take a seat. Like I want it to be like equal talent level.
Yeah, this is where something doesn't make sense to me. Like, tell me if you agree with this. I agree with the statement I'm going to make. The Lakers were worse than the Timberwolves. Okay, right? I think that's fair because the Timberwolves beat them in 5. I think that the Lakers, now put that aside, I think the Lakers would not have lost this game when Steph got hurt in the first quarter. Do you also agree with that? Like, how do they beat the Lakers in 5 and lose to a Warriors team without Steph?
Because Anthony Edwards didn't feel the competitiveness. That's what I'm saying. Until he feels like he has something to go at, he wants to prove that he's like the best. He's not interested until he feels that the game is close and it's the end of the game or whatever. Like he's not like he's kind of just hanging out. And I think that he really feels like I think he felt like he was playing as like the B team. And he was like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll just let like, Naz Reid go off or Nikhil get time. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. You predicted Warriors win game 1, Timberwolves win next 4. But your logic for that prediction was the Steph Curry game. So we did not have a Steph Curry game. So assuming that Steph is healthy and the hamstring thing was just some tightness and he's fine and he comes back, do you now think this is a much closer series because we didn't have the Steph game? So that's that's good for a game, or this was the one win they're not going to get more.
This was going to be the Steph Curry game, and they won. He had 13 and 13, like 13 minutes, 13 points. Steph was going off. He was dancing out there. He was hitting 3.
So you're saying this counts?
I think this was it. I think that it's a left hamstring strain. Like it's actually interesting. When Steph went out, he wasn't doing anything strenuous. Like he actually was just dribbling. Like he was just walking around. I think that like it was concerning enough that he didn't play the rest of the game.
And the non-contact injuries really scare me.
Right. So I think, and especially if they want to keep trying to push forward in the playoffs, and especially if everybody else is kind of already banged up, like to have a, fresher Steph, if maybe he doesn't play the next game and he comes back like, game 3, because at any point there, then they're trying to turn the series, and now they're still like, now they're up 1. So maybe like more strategic in a sense, but I really think that Ant, like, some switch gets turned on when he's like, oh, like I'm across the floor from Curry, like, all right, now it's on. Like, it's like, it is like a little bit Michael Jordan-ish that he's like seeing the other, like, it brings out the competitor in him, and that's what's exciting to him, is not like the
Yeah,
lane.
I think that the difference between him and Michael Jordan, and there's a lot of differences, but Michael Jordan wouldn't have lost this game. I don't like that attitude of like, I'm the best when you're not the best yet. You're on your way, but like to lose game 1 of a playoff game, I'm not even sure you're right, right? Meaning we don't know. It could be Anthony Edwards if you ask him, and he's gonna be like, oh, I just wasn't good. Like I didn't. That's not true. But like, right, my argument is based off your argument for what you think is going on in Anthony Edwards' head. But but my point is if that's like the way he's thinking, and I think you might be right, which is why I'm making the argument. My point is that for sure Anthony Edwards, who's this young and has achieved no MVPs, no finals appearances, it is way too early for him to be like this like I need something else to drive me if Steph's not playing. Like you know what needs to drive you? It needs to drive you that you've never made a finals. Show me what you got. I just think it's a problem. I'm flagging it.
Something to note.
Okay. Yeah. Predictions. Knicks Boston tonight. Will this streak continue of the underdog winning games? My mom texted me. There's no way this ever happened. That the first five games of round 2. Yeah. Like the all underdog ones, the first 5 games. It's just crazy. But maybe first 6.
Maybe.
It's hard to predict a Knicks win. Celtics are favored by 10.5, but I'm doing it. Let's go Knicks. It's more just fun. But yeah. Like why not? Let's go Knicks.
I was listening to Bill Simmons talk about it yesterday. I don't think Jalen Brown is
Yeah.
the same. Jason Tatum cannot hit the backboard even for his life. Whatever, it's a whole other thing. And Porzingis is out. Drew is looking okay. There's so like each of those pieces is important independently. Of course, Derek White, but Derek White is just, he's awesome. I think that if the Knicks are able to play as hard-nosed as they did game 1, and Boston is banged up like they are, and they kind of show like the lack of motivation in a weird way that they were last game, I think it's very possible they win.
And we didn't get a good Towns game. So the hope is get a good Towns game. That's the case for the Knicks. The case for Boston is we lost by 3 in overtime and missed 45 threes. That's not going to happen.
100%.
So, like, meaning all the analytics of, like, this guy looked slow, this guy looked that, like, we lost by 3 in overtime and missed 45 threes.
So they don't have Hauser either, who was for their perimeter shooting, they have, like, all those, lineups, metrics, whatever. So we'll see what happens. It's fun. I think I'm going to take Boston just because it's safe. I don't think that they're in by that much.
That is the smart pick. Money is on Boston.
Yeah.
And Denver OKC, I think we're both gonna pick the Thunder. Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna predict what I predicted yesterday for either of these teams, which is I now think the Pacers won the series. I don't think the Knicks being up 2-0 or Denver being up 2-0 means that they won the series. Like I think OKC and Boston and I've thought this all season, are a level above Cleveland, and that being down 2-0 was just like it's not great, but it's not. It doesn't by any means mean it's over. I'm going to predict the Thunder win because I really think they're really, really good. But I'm ready for anything with Jokic now.
I think,
Like, what if he has a 50-30?
I think it's exactly that point. I don't think that he can, like, we saw from last series, he's an incredible player.
Where like his games are like 25, 6, and 7.
But yeah, but they lost. The Thunder lost last game off of a mistake on their end. So like, I mean, like even with his absolutely generational game that he had, the Thunder could have really pulled it out. So I really think that it's not gonna. You can't clone a game like that. Like that's like a really
Whatever the thing is, though, nothing would surprise me with him. Like if he had a 50-30 game, I'm just like, okay.
It's funny because the Nuggets, like, if you look at them, because Jokic does so much of the handling, whatever, a lot of the supplementary stats, you guys, like, a lot of the guys don't really put up stats in those ways because Jokic is such a focal point of everything. Like, no matter what it is, Jokic is in the center of it. On offense, on defense, rebounding, whatever. Like,
Coaching.
Literally, yeah.
He's doing it all. All right. So, yeah, it should be fun. You have the Thunder, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. That was the NBA Daily Recap in 15 minutes or less. I want to thank you, Levi, for co-hosting, for producing, and for just being a friend. I like you a lot, Levi. And I want to thank Max for working on the back end again. He's good to have Max back. And I want to thank you for listening.